So they just need military units to push with now. Well, I learned something today. Maybe this game's going to get interesting. What do you guys think? Is this game going to get interesting? These guys are getting pushed back a little bit. These guys should be careful, though. They don't want to get countered. They don't want to have to mess around there. Yeah, it doesn't look good. They just can't. They don't have the production to keep the units coming out. They need to do. This is what happens when you don't pre-build. When you don't pre-build, this is what happens. This is going to suck up a lot of their money, too. There's a lot of lost money in all these harbors that they're going to lose. Nationalism there. Civil engineering. Oh shit. They did not get their defenses up here in time. Wow. They really need the push on this side. They really need the push on this side. I don't know why they don't have any units, though. What's their faith? They have 876 faith. They need to buy some units. I don't know what the play is here with just artillery. But this city's about to die. Like, they just... staring off at the base of the volcano here. Cavalry. Oh, here's a... Whoa. Tanky tanks. Tank corps. They bought a cavalry unit for some reason. Came and stole a builder. Might want to move these units south here, I would think. Walls in these two cities ASAP, because it won't take them long to traverse this. Germany better have high production, boy. 18, 22, 14, 16. They got super lucky that there's strategics underneath these two, so it helped that one so much. Oh, they're a long ways from balloons, unfortunately, for them. It's like balloon tech would be huge for these arties. They gotta go, though. That city got deleted as we knew it would. This Cuirassier stepped in just to get shot by a core field cannon. Like, they need some serious work to happen here. They're going to take Armagh here. Like, these samurai are not going to last long if Rome decides to do anything other than sitting around. Yeah, like this tank, like one tank core, but it's half dead because it's just got smashed by field cannons. Angkor Wat. $295 faith. I wonder what a tank core costs. Anybody know what a tank core costs in faith? Because they went bottom tree. They don't have enough tech to be anywhere near that. Any science. If you go bottom tree to get tanks, then you've got 15 techs left to do to get to balloons. Yeah, if he doesn't have it, he's did it wrong, yeah. Who has general? I don't see either of them with a general. I mean, these guys should be able to get one with faith, maybe, because they have... These guys don't have one down here either. There's a general there. They may have just gotten that. I haven't seen a general in this area yet. Well, they deleted another city over here. Running out of caravels, though, they need to be careful because they're just losing a caravel or two every single time. Privateers and frigates are nice and all, but... a couple more they could upgrade here. Tank went back and took a promo. I'm not sure if that lives. I don't think it does. No. Well, this is just kind of a careless attack, though, to be honest with you. They've had a good game, but, like... And I think that they're trying to come in because they need to put pressure on because of this. But, I mean... one cavalry and one tank army to go with all these beautiful artilleries, like... I don't know. I love this standoff has been going on for like 60 turns. So funny. Yeah, they're building a supply convoy. Yeah, they're just been standing off. They're both fortified, so they can't kill one another, right? The hot gates. What the hell was that? Did they just smash the scout off of that thing? It's a chest horse versus a pawn. They move the general up, so the general's in here now. These guys still don't have a general. 249 faith. What did they just spend their faith on? Didn't they have like 400 and something? And I was thinking, why don't they... I mean, with like 2 or 3 more tanks, sure. With 2 or 3 more tanks, I feel like I like their position, but like the arties look really good here, but like, and the other thing too is why, like, if this has been sitting here forever, if this field cannon was sitting here, this field cannon could help. You know what I mean? Like, this field cannon was standing here, it could shoot this, but it's been sitting here for like 15 turns. Wow. 94 damage. These things are powerful. Bombard only did 11 to it. The only thing is that these would be a long ways off of a promo. The next promotion level I would imagine to be pretty expensive. So health-wise, it's hard not to be able to... This is stalling a bit. Needs more field cannons in here. Just trying to get some boats up to protect. Armag's been taken. This is going to be formidable. So he's in a little bit of trouble there. Great merchant is toys. Just trying to make gold, I guess? I mean, university, commercial hub project, stables, and 2 quadrems. I mean, this push is kind of dying, I suppose, but I would want to get some more units up. Like, how Rome has not... Like, Rome's just let them sit here for free with 4 samurai. Just sitting there for free. Like, if they had a unit here, the city's gone. But they actually moved this, nice. But yeah, if they'd have brought the cavalry in after, they could have taken that city. But they brought the cavalry in and let it get killed. Needs to shift enter that out. Or swap. Needs a shift enter swap here, I think. That city could fall. Oh, get that thing out of there. What did they do? They let their caravel die. No. They're gonna have to wait a turn. I don't think that's enough. That thing jumped in the water. Like, I don't know. Like, I just... There's another tank, but it's just a regular one. They shift under the tank army back. They were able to get this one out. And promoted. This horse moved back a tile. Oh, do they get... Yeah, that's a nice theater square right there. Because they got Machu Picchu. So they got... These are both +5. Some nice campuses. I have no idea what this was from France. No idea. Pike and shot corps are going to put a pretty big stop to those tanks. Like, this is a stalemate, I think. Oh my god. This is hard to watch, I'm not going to lie. Oh, it was enough to take it. Did he have more? He must have had more hits from the units around, I guess. He's not going to take this one with the ironclad sitting in there, though. Ooh. Rome. This city dies. A general would have been a good idea. Faith by a field cannon corps, and then just delete the unit. Oh! The problem with this is that he didn't have enough faith to grab the tanks he needed. And he's over here trying to get a general with encampment training. And he's not building any units. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you. Like, at what point are you going to start actually building some units to try and make this kill? I mean, you're going against Germany's production, for crying out loud. Statue of Zeus. Statue of Liberty. Trying to get their science up. It's that they gave up on representing a culture victory. Start building it. This is kind of a funny standoff here. They came and built in the mountains for that +4 campus. They're not even making a move here. They could go and delete that city. Oh. Last moves. Wow, this guy's got last moves. The quick switch over to walls. 3 turns ain't gonna cut it. Shit, he says. That sucks. Rome trying to get relevant. 228 science, 260 science. Did they misclick their harbor? This is a +4 harbor. This is a +2. Has anyone spotted this island? I don't know. I think that maybe somebody saw it. Oh, no, they never did. I thought I saw France up in there. No, they never did either. It's not really worth settling anyway. Oh, wow, they came and got it. The tank got in there. The tank got in there and took the city. Cheeky little play. It was a cheeky little play. Get those really stacked artillery units. Yeah, Germany has tanks. They have steel. I was surprised. Those artillery tanks were a really interesting idea. Very clever play. I've never played with Khmer before on BBG. Chef Jim's going good, thank you. I just don't know if they can get through this. Like, there's a lot of units. Germany repairing walls. They're still. It's interesting though. Like, they're still going for Kilwa. For some reason, for golden maybe. That and Statue of Zeus gets them. -44. Where's gold at? These guys have really lost a lot of gold. 190. These guys are at 290 for gold. But yeah, it's interesting. They're kind of simming away. Germany's in the dark. Like, that's not going to help them. Lighthouse, okay. Bit of a counter push coming, maybe. I don't know why these cities would be building anything other than military units, though, I'll tell you that. Has a lot of units, though. I would imagine somebody's going for planes, I would think. He's heading top tree now. Just getting to ballistics there. Got some astronomers. Battleship. That city was deleted, obviously. They're poking away. They're poking away at this thing. It's going to be hard to take down that thing with the frigate in there, but... Was that a little last move thing there? Pizza Lord, I'm going. Good day, good night. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. Nukes. Eventually. This game, oh man, it's every time I do a 7G game, I get bored out of my freaking mind. They did take it. They got the frigate out in time, but they took it. What was the choice to just put that ironclad out in the middle of nowhere to get shot? Like, ugh. This does not look good. Just abandon culture victory. Diplomacy. They do have a ton more diplomacy there, so they go to 11, and then they can get 5 in a congress with 16. They could win in 2 congresses if they won both fully. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Johannesburg, very important. Under the gun controls Johannesburg. That's pretty big. That's really the only really important one. And then under the gun also controls this. So the one science and the one culture left are both controlled by Sun Tzu as well. So that's kind of important. Because that just means all your campuses and theater squares are worth that much more, right? I'm surprised nobody's challenged this. Bart Seiko owns a couple. Yeah. City-state controls really a lot in the favor of Sun Tzu. Holy cow. Two on wax and one on deluxe, and that's it. Everything else is for Sun Tzu. It's not a lot of them aren't great, but still, like, even just if you control a science, then everybody in your team can have envoys in there to make your campuses better, right? That's a big difference in science. Bart Take does. Which is Germany. Once again, we have returned to a standoff. Little bit of a push here from under the gun. Yeah, Khmer getting it would have been a little bit more valuable, right? With the slightly cheaper faith buys, but I mean, 10% is not really all that much. See if anything happens here. They can push that tank forward. That artillery is probably in rough shape. Maybe? Oh, wow. Oh, he had to come over and cover the tank over there. Oh, he had a promotion as well. Because I think if he had hit with the tank, he would have killed that artillery. In time. Bit of a methodical push. These guys just backed off, obviously. Rome's got to have tanks, don't they? Yeah, they're up on scientific theory. I don't know what the heck's going on here, guys. We got an artillery there. Oh, there's Potato Palace going up, by the way. Statue in 3. Oh my god. There's just so little combat, and the turns take like 3.5 minutes, and it's just like there's nothing to watch for. Like there's some action for like 30 seconds, and then it's just 3 minutes of staring at the screen waiting for the next. Like. A lot of artillery coming online here in Persia. Tanks, artillery, more artillery. Land is well developed. A theater square project for some reason. I guess just for defense. So he's trying to be a little bit of culture defense as well, I guess. It's interesting. He's got a mountain pass here. I'm wondering if he's trying to spit the units out up here from this city. Maybe that engineer is going to come down here and spit it out over here somewhere. Who's got the best science? How close is he on balloon tech? Oh, I don't think I've got him. Banking. He's not too far from flight. Maybe 6 turns-ish. I can't imagine Jai Abraman's very close. Yeah, he's continuing on the bottom tree. Oh, he did get flight. Oh. What's his science? Oh, 236, actually, yeah. There's your balloon. There's your balloon, which means these artillery just got a whole lot more powerful. You should have that one sitting in a city healing up, to be honest with you. Things could get a little bit more juicy here with balloons. He's got 1782 faith. He's got a modern general already. So that's it right there. Interesting. Papega Chichen Itza for Germany. He is struggling to get golden. Is that what he's doing? Where is that? $119, $122. 2 turns. Oh, he already built it. Are the Germans near lift balloons? 224 science. I don't know. I don't think that they really. It's really. I think their play is bottom tree right now because they don't have artilleries. I don't think they're looking to do a push. I think they're more on the defense, and unfortunately for them. What's he building? A holy... Oh! There you go. +4 holy site is his golden age. Hey? Yeah, they have 1 artillery, but they're not gonna... They have all... This is all defense. Field cannons galore. 1 tank army for city strength. And then it's field cannons for days. Or tank corps for yeah. I mean, they're getting some tanks up, but I'd imagine if I was them, I'd be going bottom tree. Oh, they're on banking, so they're heading on the top tree now. They're not heading in modern. They are heading to flight. Yeah, Paul, I think so. I think under the gun, is probably the cream of the crop in this lobby, and I think he's just out simming. I think that was his idea when he went Ancestral Hall. Was I'm the best player in this lobby. I'll just sim up and kill him on turn 100, and that's what he's doing. Javerman got golden. Looks like darks for everybody else on 7G. The Papega one gonna be golden, heroic, golden, heroic for under the gun. Next turn. Let's go. Another golden for... So Jadwiga was 1 point away on, what was that, Medieval? Missed Medieval golden. Or would have had every one of them. Potato Palace is a struggle. They need to divvy up their... they need to divvy up their... whatchamacallit here. This 388 needs to get divvied up big time. They need to try and really... They need to destroy this Congress so that they have that potential. 12 with Potato Palace. 16 if they win the next two Congresses, plus the wins. They win 2 each in the next 2 Congresses, including the bottom one. They will win Diplo. Well, there's Diplo potential for Jadwiga. They kind of abandoned the culture victory, to be honest with you. And then this city just got taken. I meant to come over here and I forgot. Sorry, guys. This city was almost done, so it's gone now. That includes pyramids was taken. Are they gonna hold on to it? They can't keep it. I think he probably deletes it, which would be pyramids gone. He's gonna be in golden. He'll be able to hold it, but he'd have to take it back again. I think he's missing units here. I think is the problem. I think because he's got so many units here that I think it's gonna get taken back, and he's only got a tank here and tanks here. Unfortunately, he doesn't even have a tank back here to come help on the road. He spent some more. Wow. Where did he spend his faith on? Engineer. We're going into Congress here. I don't know. Well, Congress is going to be big. Religious. So, engineer coming here. Getting factories online to produce units quicker, I guess. He's got armies. Mimar Sinan, I don't know who he does. Oh, is that the guy who does walls? Oh no, he has steel, so it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't. Doesn't matter. These guys are just healing up. Maybe they head into Paris. These cities finally got killed. We knew they would. That one out in the point wasn't going to last long. So sea control belongs. Really good, really well played game by Poland. I really wish they hadn't abandoned. This is down to 3 turns. I really wish they hadn't abandoned culture victory, but they pivoted away. I'll be right back. They did divide it up nicely, by the way. Oh, that. Really well done. My teammates at Zone of Control would be very proud. Controlling city-states, getting the Diplo quarters built, evangelizing the pagodas, building the wonders. What's their culture at? 90. Colonialism, so they don't have armies. So I'm wondering why they got a regular tank here, but I thought they were going to make tank army. But yeah, the balloons are going to shred this. The problem is that there's just a lot to kill. But
though its face may change throughout the ages, history is written from the hand of the victor.
So did they just lose Congress completely then? Shop project. Okay.
Seems like nuts.
Greetings.
Hello there.
That was quite the game.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for casting.
Yeah, no, it was a pleasure casting. It was such a standoff for so long, and so what? They GG'd for Diplo?
Yeah.
They just,
I mean,
Diplo
they are
and
losing.
Dojo,
Like
he's
Japan
down.
is pretty irrelevant. Catherine too,
yeah,
and Khmer is not going on me. I mean, he will not raise me in the
Yeah.
20 turn.
yeah. It's in 20
So-
turns with pagodas and everything. It's
Yes,
just, and
that's why.
city state control. It was. I think I was just wondering. Like, I think I was saying to Chad, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this ends in 20 turns if Congress goes well this turn. And then all of a sudden, because it won't let me, I'm sitting here trying to go into the actual Congress to see the way the votes turned out, and nothing's updated, so I wasn't sure what happened. But I was kind of like, huh. But no, it was a very interesting game. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to get remapped. I thought Japan would
Yeah.
want to
From them
remap.
or from us
Yeah,
or from them?
we thought the same. We
Yeah.
also thought they would remap.
I was like, I mean, their capital is like pretty unpushable until like balloon artillery, basically. But I was just like, there's no way they're going to want to get pushed by Roman Persia. And then I was like, you guys will just push them from the north there, maybe. But then I saw you both go Ancestral Hall. I'm like, oh, okay, they're just going to sim and kill them in 100 turns. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Sun Tzu gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
think.
later.
I mean, Persia is always like looked at as a classic war civ, but I think it really shines.
Oh,
this game as well.
absolutely. They have great
These trade
internals
routes
and
are insane.
yeah,
Like I have 15 trade routes with 5 culture,
yeah, that's insane.
and then +6/+6 on food and production. Then Dark Age even +8/+8.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I hit Heroic Age, and I'm sure Kree dies because I have armies on him.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah,
all
that's-
the things, 2 arms and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, Kree dies.
Next turn, my level 2 spy gets established, so I get +6 intel next turn.
Oh,
And
wow.
then plus armies, I think he flew.
I
It's no
really
problem.
thought Khmer was going to kill me like 10
Yeah.
turn ago. Where I was
Yeah.
5 turn away from tanks, and I mean, he didn't have any engineer. I think that what screwed him up because it was slow to get to me.
Well, you know what was weird is that he didn't get any tanks and stuff. He did an incredible strategy with the artillery by
Yes.
taking both sides of the tree and then merging them together with Terracotta Army plus Victor. But like he got at one point he spent his faith. He got a cavalry and a tank corps. I'm like, okay, and then I waited for next turn. Okay, what's he gonna buy this turn? And nothing.
But was it pen and brush? Second age?
He went. Yes, he did. He went Monumentality, Penbrush, back to Monumentality.
I wonder why he never stacked a lot of face. Because
Yeah.
it
Yeah, he went back to, and I think he went back and stacked some faith or used faith maybe on some builders to fill out. I don't know where to deal with his faith. He was making a ton of faith, and I'm like,
Yes.
I was nervous for you too at Germany. I was like, he's gonna buy like 6 tank corps with these insane artilleries and just run him over, and then he just kind of got cheeky with it on the one city, but like he never really put anything together. Like coming across
Yes.
those rivers was a little slow, and he didn't have an engineer, like you said.
he had a lot more science than me for a long part of the game too. Like
I was
think he
nervous
should
for you guys on the science side.
Yes.
For what was it, right around Second Congress? I was like, man, they have like more than double their science across the board. Like, but then you guys started
No, that was
simming
first
and
Congress.
yeah,
was,
because it was when you guys were able to get the or the campus buildings
Campus.
100%.
Yeah.
And then all
Exactly.
all of a sudden, it's like 10 turns later, I'm like, how did they just catch them all in science? And I'm like, oh, I forgot to check Congress. And it immediately occurred to me, oh, 100% campus, I guarantee it. And I went in there.
We got Naval on the back as well. That really helped.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like Nalanda is a huge difference, right? It was hidden for a long time and then we found it and it was huge competition. But this Congress was amazing because I spammed a lot of cities with Ancestral, went commercials first everywhere, so I had like 20 signs for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And Cree was on 70 already. And with the Congress, I managed to get like to 80 signs within 3 turns because I one-turn libraries in like 7 cities and then 3-turn universities everywhere.
Yeah.
And suddenly everything is good for us.
Yeah. No,
So
that was a really big turnaround for sure. It was a really interesting map because it was kind of like divided up into 4 parts. It was like 2 and then 2 and then 2 and then but it was a really good game. I wanted to say that Poland, I don't know how to say her name other than Tits, but had a really I wanted to ask you why you kind of abandoned the culture victory because you were looking so good, and then you said
Because I missed my golden. I trolled my golden.
oh, yeah, you missed. Okay, so this is the thing I wanted to ask. 2 questions I had. First one was, you could have bought a boat, a sword, or a horse to get golden.
I could have bought my new government as well.
Oh, okay.
But indeed, I thought the government, the fact to reach the tech will give me 2 points, so I didn't expect to get only 1.
Okay. Yeah, so it was, but anyway, I want to say, and my chat kept saying it too, how with such little land, how great a game you had. You had a really good start, and you were representing culture victory. And then I'm like, it was kind of weird because it went back and forth. And for a moment, I was a little nervous for you because France put down like 3 or 4 cities on the coast and immediately started building harbors. And you didn't immediately start building your harbors. I'm like, oh man, I hope he's going to defend the sea. And then I looked over and all of a sudden you had like 10 galleys. I'm like, good job. And then I realized that France had built their harbors, but then they didn't build any boats.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
they have to see that you're making admiral points. So I was kind of like, okay, like, I mean, see, like, they have to defend themselves. And then all of a sudden I saw the caravels, or the galleys turn into caravels. I'm like, oh, here we go. These cities are going to get deleted.
I trained so many, how you do call it? Not the frigate, but the other one.
Oh, the quadrims.
The privateers.
Yeah. Oh, the privateers. Yeah, the privateers too, as well. Yeah.
Like 10 privateers.
And even the play on Plock at the bottom there, where you put the harbor on the right, I was like, that's ballsy because. But then at the same time, you were probably thinking Japan thinks they're probably safe, right? And Japan did kind of they had to kind of ignore the water anyway. And then all of a sudden, you put that over there, put some cities in there, or put some boats in there, and you actually beat them on the sea. So you basically beat them on both seas as Poland. It was like really impressively well done. So that was a very good job, and yeah, it was just a really good game. Got the wonders built.
What did you think about the 500 faith monument?
Oh, it was so good, and that was another thing too. Somebody was like, because I just saw like there was a settler, and then I saw another settler pop, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna have. And I was looking around. I was kept doing the settler lens. I'm like, how many cities can actually get in here? And you never actually, you could have put one another one in there too, right? Right where there's actually aluminum, you would have settled aluminum. At the north side there was one more spot for a city, and I thought you were going to settle there, but I guess you're just like, oh, so I've got enough cities, this is fine. Yeah, right there. There's actually aluminum underneath that one.
All right.
But no, it would have been a. It was really well done. Like you had. It's amazing that if you can have a really quick start on a face civ, and have a really good monumentality. It's quick how like it just happens so quick, right? Because you don't have to waste any production on getting your settlers. It's just like, oh, I'll just go and settle all my cities for free, and it was really good job. But yeah, it was a great game. You guys did a good job. It was hard to say who was going to win because the culture victory looked good, but then I'm like, man, they're double their science. What's going to happen? Then you guys got that Congress, you got back in it, and there was like standoffs all over the place. I'm like, oh my god, it was a bit of a snooze fest for a bit. But then I'm like, okay, here comes the military. You know, Germany dodged a bullet, and then I saw Under the Gun start to move the tanks in. I'm like, yeah, Cree probably dies here. And France had terrible land and was essentially irrelevant all game, unfortunately for them. But yeah, it was a good game. GG's for sure.
Thanks for casting. I think the Poland strat worked out perfectly because like we found another relic. He only went 3 holy sites, right? Because he doesn't have a shrine religion.
Yeah.
So no feat to words, etc. So it's quite optimal, and then he can opt out to do like commercials, theaters, harbors, etc. And he did like a huge job. Like he was the big support, right? The Diplo win is on him, the pagodas are on him, and he relled like with Navy everyone. Like
he relled 2 people with the Naval. Yeah, like it was an incredibly well played game. I gotta say.
He was super aware that like France had coastals and was super worried, so he prepared everything and it worked out fine. And he pillaged like in crucial moments. He pillaged like 2k gold for us, especially for me, like to upgrade stuff.
Oh
because we had a lot of players running internals, which is really strong for development, but you lack gold for the upgrades. And when you have somebody pillaging, that's just perfect.
Yeah, the pillaging can be so huge for because I mean it's just so much gold, right? It's like, oh my god, I need like 1,000 gold. We've got no gold, and then pillage. Oh shit, we got the gold. Perfect.
Did they have gold?
You guys. So early on, they had the advantage in gold by about 2-1 because France went commercial hubs first, and then you guys had them around. At one point, about maybe 10 turns ago, you guys were making about 300 a turn, and they were making about 200 a turn. So you had the edge on them by like a 3-2 margin. So you were definitely going to have the advantage there when it came to gold. But yeah, it was just like, it was weird. At the beginning of the game, I thought both teams might choose to remap because Japan must have hated their life. And I was like, Germany's only going to have like 6 good cities and Poland's going to get squeezed. I'm like, maybe you guys want to as well. But you guys obviously saw that you had huge space for Rome and Persia. And we're like, that's fine. We'll just win with Rome and Persia, I guess was your thought. And then it was just like standoff. Nobody wanted to fight. And I saw you guys go through Ancestral Hall. I'm like, oh, all right. See you at turn 100 because this is, time to sim up. Which is I love. I love simming. Simming's my specialty. And when it comes to war, I'm just always like, I always get first moved and it gets frustrating and I never seem to do well when I war. So I really love to do the simming. I'm like, if you let me, go Ancestral Hall and get 12 cities, I'll go to town. But it was fun to watch for sure. So yeah.
It was really like a lot of space for me, but it was complete vanilla land, like 2-1 base, 2-2s everywhere.
I know, yeah, it was quite flat and a lot of floodplains. But yeah, you did a good job making lumber mills when you needed to. And
I think just the Magnus internals, and then with provision, spamming out builders on feudalism, I spammed a lot. Like I did one in every city pre-build and then chopped another one. Set my builders out really early, and then at one point I chopped like 3-4 settlers with Magnus. Like,
yeah, Magnus internals is nice on Persia, right? Because you're going to be in internals all game, and especially when you had flat land, it was an easy choice.
Sure. Like it really helps out. Like if you have more space and more time to sim, I think Magnus internals are just insane. Yeah. And if you are under a little more pressure, like Pingala internals will do just fine. You get science and culture on all trade routes than with Persia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing is whenever I'm playing and I know I'm kind of frontline Pingala internals because you got to get your science up or when you're going to get pushed, right? But if you've got time to sim, you'll take that extra food and production on your trade routes all day.
At one point I was a little worried because like he had muskets really early and crossbows, and I was like looking to hold the choke here with a knight. And I could have died plenty of times, but I didn't. So it worked out just fine. Yeah, I think a huge thing for them was Kree missing the Dark Age, honestly. Like the Dark Age did so much for me. I had +5 on my cuirassiers, I had +2 on all my trade routes, and like the point, and I'm able to get heroic, and like the 4th age in heroic is unbelievably good. Like it's completely unstoppable to have like both the heartbeat of Steam, so the production from campuses, and the 2 arms for military.
I was gonna ask you real quick too. So when Pool disconnected or something, and then I guess the AI moved a unit off that
the
thing.
scouts.
And then she was saying like something about if you don't pillage, or you said okay I won't pillage. And then you went in and you didn't pillage the campus. But then, like, 5 turns later, she still hadn't come over to defend it. I was like...
Yeah, exactly. So I was like...
I mean, how long do I have to stand here doing nothing, right? I was like, eventually you've got to come over and defend
really weird.
it.
I dislike the situation, but yeah, it was really weird. I would have preferred to it's like I don't know, had it fair play.
Yeah.
But I figured like I gotta pillage something here, like
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too is it was the play. I'll let you guys go. The France, the situation with the galleys and the frigates. I was trying to figure out what had happened because
There were two caravels stuck in the harbor.
oh yeah.
yeah, you know what it
So,
was actually. So I couldn't tell because I was kind of happened so fast. But somebody went back and watched my VOD, and from what it looked like to me is that they had two caravels in the water on separate tiles, and they had two what do you call them, frigates, two frigates inside the city. And what happened was they had two and they had nowhere to go, so by rule they should have deleted one of the frigates.
Yep.
And then once you killed the one caravel, they moved a frigate out. I think they shot, I don't know what they did, they hit with the frigate to kill, and then they moved the frigate out or something like that. I can't.
I killed two caravel in the harbor, actually.
Oh,
They
okay.
were
Is that what it
two
was?
caravel.
Because
Yeah.
on my screen, and I mean, you can go back and watch it. On my screen, it only looked like one caravel had died, and the other caravel, was alive, but it was half health, and there wasn't any other caravel on it. But it was, I think, I thought what had happened was that they kept the frigate in the city until one of the caravels died, and then moved the other one out.
No, they were a frigate in the city, a frigate in the harbor, and a caravel in the other tile. And he produced a caravel and swap it with the other. So the
Oh,
two.
okay. Is that okay? Because it was hard to tell what I saw, but because afterwards, after it had happened, and you had paused the game to protest, which was obviously the right thing to do. On my screen, it looked like all three were there, like on separate tiles. So I'm like, I couldn't figure out what had happened, but I was kind of curious what you had seen from your perspective, versus what it kind of looked like on my screen. But yeah, a fantastic game. And so it's 1-1, right? And you guys play tomorrow.
yes.
For the whole ball of cheese or whatever you want to say, and and whatever happens there, you guys will get to move on. And good luck. I hope you guys do well. And yeah, thanks for coming and saying hello and chatting with me.
All right. Thanks for casting.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Good one. Good night.
Bye.
See you.